still dark at the moment. I'm just heading out. I put a trail camera out last weekend in an area not far from a river, unfortunately. And I mean, this week the rain has just been horrendous. We've had storms after storms, and there's a lot of floods around. And I'm having a feeling this trail camera is going to be underwater. That's even if I can get to it. So I'm not sure I'm going to get to it. So I'm going to give it a go. Just go and have a look and see if I can get to it. Yeah, and see what happens. Well, you can see the state of the fields down. I'm just driving down to towards the area where I want to see the trail cam. These fields are full. It actually says road closed down here, but it looks okay. But I'm going to go careful if it looks dodgy. I mean, there's a chap who just walked back in his wellies. He reckons there's about 3 inches of water on the road, so it's not too bad. And there's a car just come through the other way, so I think we're okay. But yeah, you can see the amount of water. Just let this car go past. You can see the amount of water in the fields and the river. I mean, you can see where the barges are over here. There's the barges. You know, really, the water level's right up to the banks of the river, basically. This is the old mill house, where the water comes underneath the mill, just in there. You can just about see where it's coming through, but it's right to the top of the tunnel it comes through. Really close into those houses, definitely. But yeah, they look okay, but a bit of an island for them, really, with the water all around them at the moment, I guess. You can see I was just driving down a bit closer to the area I want to get to. There's a bit more egrets in the field than on the lake, to be honest, this morning. The field's absolutely flooded here. If we look down the track in front of us here, we can see the water. That's going to be getting fairly deep as we go down, because there's a bit of a dip there. And yeah, that's not going to be worth the attempt. And when we get there, that's where the river is, just the other end of there, and that's going to be totally flooded. So we can't even get to the track where we want to go and collect the trail camera, let alone walk along it. So we're going to give up with that. And if I sort of turn us around a little bit here, which I'm going to do, you'll see that sitting in front of us here is the lake. And the river is, the water is just running basically across this road from the lakes behind me into those lakes. And that's sort of an area where normally you can actually walk around. So yeah, you can see here, I mean, the water's just running across this road down through that gate. I mean, that's normally an area you can walk around. There's a path around the side of the lake there you can walk around, but you can't get in there today. So so yeah, it's just not worth it. I think, as I say, when we get down to the river, we're not going to be able to get anything when we get down there, so we're just going to give up. So, but yeah, so the trail cam's going to have to stay out for another week, and we'll see what happens. Well, as I say, I'm just going to have to give up on the trail cam for this week, I think. It might, the levels might go down tomorrow. It's supposed to be dry today, so might have another go tomorrow. Just spoke to somebody who walked down here, and he said the far end, the track's not too bad to get down, but the far end where you park the car, it's actually flowing through there, so it's really not worth the risk. And I'd say that to anybody, getting the photograph and getting things like that, it's just not worth risking your own safety, so don't do it. So it's going to be a bit of a short video probably. What I'm going to do is just have a quick walk onto the reserve, maybe just go and sit in some of the hides for a while. No idea what's going to be around with the water levels being so high. Well, we're going to have another attempt at trying to retrieve this trail camera today. We had a dry day yesterday and a dry night. I guess it's just a case of getting down there and seeing what it's like when we get down there, but yeah, I'm not sure. Looking at the fields over here, it's still pretty full of water. Let's drive down and see. Well, we've just driven through what was flooded yesterday, and that's definitely gone down, so that's a good sign. The water levels have definitely dropped, so fingers crossed we might be able to get there. So we're just coming up to this area here where it was completely flooded across the road yesterday, so we can see it looks like it's gone down quite significantly. Still, I'm looking over in the fields on the right hand side, there's loads of egrets and great white egrets all in the field over there, and herons, probably 10-15 by the looks of them all together. But yeah, this was all completely flooded yesterday, so we can actually drive down this lane today, so that's a good sign. Yeah, and here we are in the sort of parking area, which yesterday, as I say, I didn't get up here, but somebody told me it was actually flowing through here, the water was, so this is fairly clear again now. So yeah, so I think we've got a chance of going and getting the trail cam, so we're going to have a walk and go and see what we can find. So it does look like it this morning. We're going to have a chance of actually retrieving this trail cam. The river looks like it's gone down quite a bit. There's no water in the fields around here by the river, which is quite good. So it's just, I mean, it amazes me how quickly the water levels rise and fall. Yesterday you wouldn't have had a chance of getting down here, but today there's, you know, I'm not saying it's dry, but you know, the water levels are right down. The river's back in where it should be, and not in the fields. So yeah, looking pretty positive. And hopefully, I don't think we're going to need our wellies. Walking boots should be okay today. We can see the fields are pretty waterlogged still around here as we're walking up. Be interesting to see what happened to the barn owl, because that would have been struggling to hunt recently. But I have just, as I've just been filming this, I've just looked to my right and I saw the fox up the track. Yeah, but I crouched down, but I think it saw me and disappeared. I didn't expect it to appear because it's quite late now. It's 9 o'clock-ish. Well, we're getting close to the area where the camera is now. I don't really want to show you exactly where it is, just in case I want to put it back out here. But yeah, I really don't know if I'm going to be able to get it yet, because as I'm walking down, a lot of the ditches are really wet. And where I put it was at the end of a ditch which was quite dry last week when I put it down. But I'm not sure if that ditch is going to be full of water. I'm not even sure if the trail cam is going to be covered in water when I get there. So we'll carry on and see what the condition of it is. Well, there's definitely water been through here. We can see it, you know, in here. But let's have a look and see if we've got anything on here. Managed to retrieve it. A little bit more waterlogged down than it was when I put it out, but not too bad. So let's just open up, put it on. Let's have a look and see if there's anything on here. Well, I can see there's 20 clips. I mean, there's going to be 2 or 3 which are probably me putting it out, taking it back. But just starting to have a look at a few of them. Yeah, the first one I can see something's gone past. I don't know if it's a fox. It looked a bit like a fox's tail, but it was very difficult to tell. Yeah, just flicking through, and I think there's definitely some muntjac in here as well. Yep, definitely some muntjac. And there's some squirrels in here as well, which I think that was bound to be the case, really. And as I'm just flicking through to sort of I'm just going through them quickly. I'll put them back on the computer and have a look at them and put up whatever we get. I'm just flicking through some of the later ones towards the end of the time, over the last few days. I can certainly see where the water levels have come up. I don't think they actually reached the camera, which was good, but definitely the water was increasing through the days as it went by as well. So yeah, I think we had a lucky escape with the camera there. Still fully charged. Still working great, so I don't think there's any problems with that. It's not one of my best trail cams. It was just a battery operated one I wanted to put out. I didn't want to put anything too fancy out there, which was probably good with the water levels going up. So yeah, but we'll get these back on the computer, have a look at them, see what they look like, and I'll show you if there's anything there. But yeah, we managed to retrieve the trail cam, so we managed to get there on the second day of second attempt, and hopefully there's something there of interest. I don't think there's anything fantastic, but at least we can see what's around. And hopefully, if there was a tail of a fox there, it's really good for me, because I'm doing another video on foxes and barn owls, and I'm hoping that's the area where the fox is going back to its den. I'm not really sure, but hopefully if it is, then in the spring, if there are youngsters around, then it might be a good place to come. I've got a little long-tailed tits in the tree right next to me here, just distracting me. Yeah, have a look at it and see what's on there. Well, this video wasn't really about what was going to be on the trail cam. This video was more about my efforts for trying to retrieve the trail cam in these flooded conditions. And it took me a couple of days to do that. And you can see, I mean, when you look over the back of here, that's a field, that's not a lake, that's a field, and that's still flooded. The whole field is just completely flooded still. So it's been pretty horrendous. Good to see briefly the barn owl and the fox are still around. You know, after those conditions you never really know, but good to see they're around. So we'll be back on that video, so watch out for that video as well. But yeah, as I say, I'll show you any of the trail cam footage. I'm not expecting anything fantastic. It was really for me just doing some investigations on what was around, and as I say, the video was really about me trying to get it back again. So yeah, whatever you're doing, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you again soon. Bye for now.